One thing I'd like to see a little bit here is the total station points and how they'd work. Mainly for underground right now is what we point the bulk of hangars. Underground and hangars, if you could show us how the pointing would work for that.
Sure, absolutely. So let me unlock this.
So like on underground, like we'd point those floor drains if that's what system you're looking at.
Sure, let's look at that. So the first thing I need to do is let me. Okay. So I have the attacher arrow here. Actually, let me turn off this line weights so it's a little easier to see.
So yeah, what exactly is the functionality of the attacher arrow?
Sure, that's a great question as well. So it's basically for offsetting fittings, transitions, OGs, just to make sure. Because I don't know if you guys have ever been modeling and you say flat left and it's flat right, or you say flat top
Every
and it's flat
time.
bottom. That's its purpose. So let me think, and it's useful for even straights because I don't know if you guys seen this, but it'll flip straight duct to where your S and drives are on the wrong side. It's describing
Right.
wrong, and this will show you that. This straight is correct. Basically, with the attacher arrow, you want the green arrow pointing up. As long as the green arrow is pointing up, your width and your height are going to be what you expect them to be. Also, notice this gray sphere. This shows you C1, which is important for all kinds of stuff. Points being one. Offsets are described from C1. So if I'm going up from C1. From C2, I'd be going down, right? So it's good to know where is my C1. This gives you that right away, just kind of at your fingertips. That's C1. You did ask about points, so we'll get into that right now. So if we go to the points here and we hover over show points. Okay, so I do know that this is C2 because it's not a gray sphere. Yeah, I can. Well, I actually can't see that because it's. I could go into wireframe to see that, but see that C1, and here are the points for that straight. And if I look here at the tooltip, it's going to tell me that the red point is going to be C1B. That's the parameter. It's going to be C1B for the red point. Now, if it was C2, then obviously it would be C2B. Come on, mouse. Right. So now I'm on C2. Now, if I wanted to export the red point here, I would use the C2B parameter. And this kind of just shows you that. And then the midpoint is the white one. So C2 is the white one in the middle there on the attacher arrow. So you can export your flow line. So if in your case, you would probably want to export C2D, right? Now, these parameters, if you notice, you don't have any point parameters. They are sort of on demand. Like um, you don't necessarily want to export points for every project, or you don't want to you don't want to muddy up your parameters with a bunch of points. So they are on demand. So what I can do here is I'm going to say, go ahead and give me the points. And points are parameters, just like everything else, which is kind of revolutionary. It's something that VM does and nobody else does. You just get them. You just model and you get them for free. You don't have to update them. You don't have to worry about embedding them into families, or if I move my hanger, do I have to move this point? No, they just come. You just model and they come for free, and the points are always there. I've always questioned kind of how APL did it. APL, Autodesk bought APL, and it was a big deal, but they could have done it much better. And this is how I would have done it, and this is how I did do it. So yeah, these points just come now. So what I can do is just say update selected and now I have points here. right? Uh, and so what I would do is I would create a schedule and I would export. And once you get used to this, you're not going to have to keep going. You're going to know, right? It's so I'm going to be exporting C2D. So I come down here to C2D X. So we have X, Y, and Z for C2D. Here's the X, here's the Y, here's the Z. Now you do have, and you can, like I said, it's just same as the data. You can auto update these. So if I move this pipe, these points will update. Of course, you need this on for that to happen, but you can always just update manually. And then you do have point settings. So which coordinate system do you want to use? You can use the project-based point. You can use the survey point, and you can internal origin is not really useful. It's good for debug if you like, but you do have project-based point and survey point. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but survey point is basically, you know, uh, you could move the survey point to the intersection of column line A and 12. And in that case, you're describing, this point from the intersection of column line A and 12 if you set your survey point there. But generally you just use project base point, and then you can report these in feet or meters. So right now this is feet. So C2DX is 2.47 feet in the X dimension. C2D is 42.4 feet in the Y dimension, and the Z dimension. This is obviously under the slab, so it's negative 3.2 feet to this flow line. And it's basically really that simple. And then you have to create a schedule. And then here's another thing that's really powerful about it. Um,
So so for the points, then you're creating a schedule and then exporting that to a CSV to be able to get it to the total stations.
exactly. And the beauty in that is you're not scheduling the points, you're scheduling the items themselves. So the guys in the field, they can know everything about that pipe, like literally everything. What's the insulation? What size is it? What level is it on? What's the service abbreviation? All the power of Revit schedules are now with you in your point export. And it doesn't matter what you're using, Trimble, TopCon, whatever. You will have to go. They'll have documentation on the order of the CSV. Some want XYZ, some want ZYX, northing, southing, easting. But they also, allow extra data at the end of that you can just push along, and you can literally push along everything in basically any of these parameters, right? So we will go here. I'm gonna grab my low
So you said
pressure.
there's not any schedules in what we have. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. There's a template. Yes.
Yes, but not for points specifically. We do give you some scheduled templates out of the box, but you will need to make one. Um, but just to quickly kind of show you this tool, you can. So I've selected my low pressure schedule, create schedule, level 1 low pressure. I'm gonna use one that I didn't mess up. How about just a basic data schedule? There we go. So, and I maybe that's what I picked at first. But the way this works is, so if you just create a duct schedule, it's going to give you all the duct on the project. You have to then filter a schedule. That's kind of just the workflow of Revit. You create a schedule. What are you scheduling? Duct work. How do we filter it? What VM does, and that's how this parameter works here. It's the VM schedule parameter. And you can see here, and VM will now you can absolutely just schedule stuff, through stock Revit, but this is just a tool that you can use. So we've actually got this in 2 schedules now, and I didn't rename. That duct is in level 1 low pressure, and it's also level 1 low pressure -1. Which is just a feature that VM did for me. It's like, okay, well, we already have a schedule named that, so Uh, we if I go look at that schedule now, it gave me this one. But that's how that works. It's going to go ahead and filter that stuff for you based on your selection. So you can schedule selections, which you couldn't do before. You'd have to make a schedule, tell it the category, and then filter it somehow through a parameter. VM's going to allow you to just do that really quickly. So what you would do then is so just basically a schedule like that, and then you would go and add parameters to that schedule. So
Do
yeah.
you happen to have a template schedule for points that you'd be willing to share, or you don't have one set up?
No, and the reason for that is it's based on whatever technology you're using. If you're using Trimble or Topcon, you will have to get with them, get with their rep, or well, even it's on their website somewhere. They all have documentation on how they expect their CSVs to be formatted.
Yeah, that we have total or Hildy's total station, and it's different than those other two. So, basically what we've been doing is using exporting to CAD and using the Hildy software point layout software, which I think they have a plugin for Revit, but they make it difficult too.
Sure. And we do want to make this a little more easy, but sort of in doing it this way, like I said, we're giving you all the power of Revit schedules, which is really, really nice. You're going to be able to push any data along with the points. Um, and then, of course, you'll probably have to number them as well. Like I said
Right.
earlier, I did. So then you would just come in here and then you'd pick your point. Which point do you want? And then you'd have to. And the only really thing that you have to worry about is it in the order that Trimble wants it? Is it in the order that Hilti wants it? Is it in the order that Topcon wants it? And then you can export a CSV. You can actually do it here as well. Points. So this is going to oh, it's under export, but this is going to expect you to have a schedule in your current view, and then you can export your total station points.
So
And
how
then
do I need to put those in the shared parameter file as well, Steve? All
no,
the
you shouldn't.
VM.
You shouldn't unless
Okay.
well, no,
Okay.
unless you want to tag that point. But unless you want to tag that point, you. But yes, otherwise, no, you shouldn't need to. But
Okay.
another thing I can show you here is
I'm thinking point layout we'll have to touch on down the road because that's too much for me to piss with right now.
sure, yeah, definitely, continue with your current methods, but this will allow you to drop APL
Mhm.
should you want to, which is an expensive piece of software and it's on its own. And also, it does kind of give you a lot more flexibility in that you have all the power of a Revit schedule and all of this data. Um, but here you have coordinates. You can. So here's a way to kind of verify your points just out of the box. Not necessarily tagging them, but you're making a schedule and you want to spot check a few points. You can do that. So
Okay.
right. So let me spot check that yellow point. Uh, Annotate. Is it? Yeah, spot coordinate. And then you do have some options here. What are we? What is? It's going to give you the same options. Well, what do you want? What do you want? Which coordinate system are we using? Project base point, survey point, internal origin. So for this one, I'm going to say that uh, project base point, and then it's going to allow you to kind of snap to that. See, it's letting me snap to that flow line.
Okay, I got you.
Now, do be aware the endpoints are reporting ID, and I'm snapping OD. So if there's some tiny discrepancy, that's the problem. It's the material thickness.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This for the Revit tool wants you to snap to a point, and it only gives you. It's going to give you that left and right and top and bottom. But it is OD, and VM is going to report ID. But another cool thing is even VAV boxes. If you wanted, to lay out these VAV boxes on the floor, you got points. Anything, and then, like I said, I just downloaded this from from price. I don't have to go into this family and embed any points. Anything with a connector is going to get points, which is cool.
Yeah.